Yes, check out these moves we've had this week. Dollar CAD running higher as expected. Dollar yen making its move as well. Swiss yen reaching targets. We've got euro pound running higher as expected targets. Euro New Zealand flying higher as well. Really good week this week. So before I get into that and break each one of those down, welcome to the Thursday market analysis. My name is Dima as always, and let's take a look at where we are at this week for today and tomorrow, what's been happening and what is expected next in the markets. Of course, I'm going to start with the calendar and the news. What have we got for today and tomorrow as we record this video? And this is the calendar for this week. Here we are, Thursday, 19th of October. The Aussie news has passed. We have this afternoon, towards the end of the day, Powell speaking on the dollar there, and that typically is a mover in the market. Watching out for that. We may have some unexpected volatility there. Then tomorrow, Royal Bank of New Zealand, so that's on New Zealand, and then pound news as well, some minor CAD news. So we've got the dollar, watching out for that, New Zealand and pound. Let's have a look at the charts and technicals. Here we've got our charts and the rest of this week. Let's take a closer look. On the dollar there, we were looking at this level for the market to reject from, and that is what we've had. Let's see if we get that continuation. At the moment, it is ranging, so a little bit of uncertainty here. Again, dollar news, as I just said, looked on the calendar. It may be wise to wait for that and see what happens tomorrow morning. And yeah, but overall, the bias is to the upside. So let's begin with the shortlist that we've had for the pairs, and euro dollar marked the invalidation, marked our area where we're looking at, and this is where we are indeed right now. Once again, the inverse of the dollar. Let's have a look if we get a reaction from the news. We had an initial one, now it's coming back up. We should, if the market holds this level, not invalidate this high, and then look to continue lower. And then if you want an increase, let's call it confirmation or bias to the downside, then the break of this structure would be the idea, and the lower price. So that is what was planned, what was expected. I'm going to continue with that plan and see how it plays out, depending on, well, if you're in it already, I don't know, you may be, you may not, but otherwise this is what we're looking for. We do have major dollar news for this week shortly later in the day. Okay, dollar CAD. As expected, we had this break. We had the pullback into the zone and continued higher. We ran higher. What will be next? Well, the next thing is obvious level we've got here. So once again, we can get rid of that. We can get rid of this as well. Let's just leave it for reference. Then we've had this level respected, up, broken, this level respected, up, break higher, and now the next level. So the next level would be fairly clearly down here, and then going into the ultimate target. The first short-term target would be here, and then the next one would be this high. Fairly obvious to see. There we are. That is the dollar CAD bullish continuation. The next invalidation point would be this low. So not looking for the market to breach this low, however, never know. So we're just going to keep that in mind and outline our scenarios. Never get too married to a trade or to an idea. Leave some flexibility and room to be wrong. Here we are. That is the expectation, or I should say the higher probability scenario. There's no certainties. Okay, moving swiftly on to dollar yen. Here's the spike down, expecting a higher price. We have had the break of this structure. We drew out what happened, broken, pierced through, and then broken again, come back down. We created another level. You see, I mean, this is getting a bit repetitive, isn't it? It may be getting a bit repetitive, but that's a good thing. Here we go. And then this outline into higher prices is what we're looking at, and indeed is what we're having at this very moment. So looking for that continuation, and once again a break of the high and continuing to the ultimate high point up here. Easy enough. Does it make sense, guys? Click a like or share your comments if you have any comments on the charts that we're looking at for this week. Perhaps you want to share your own. All comments are welcome. And thank you for being here in the first place. Okay, hope this helps. Let's move on to the next one. Swiss yen, another one we looked at. We have reached all the targets. Again, we had that yen spike to the bottom, expecting a higher price, which we have had, coming back down into this zone and then heading higher and even breaking through these highs. As you can see, yen, I mean, Swiss yen just unstoppable at the moment. We've been consistently heading higher and higher. And that is the scenario. If you want to have a look at the lower time frame, let's have a look on the 1 hour. As you can see, we broke through, bounced back onto this level that flipped, and then continued higher. I mean, it's fairly straightforward. The bias was always there since the beginning of the week. And hopefully you were looking at that too. Okay. Euro pound as expected. Same thing, similar idea. Bullish break, pulling back to get a better price, and then rejecting off it, continue higher just as expected. Here was that idea into the first target, second target, and now we are reaching for the third one. Where next from here? Well, you can probably guess. I'm going to outline the next level that we're interested in. We've broken through this high, so we can get that, take that off, take the second one off. Now we've got this next high up here. Here's the zone, and where's the invalidation point? Well, the next one would be down here at the obvious swing, and this would be the next place to look for. Let's get rid of all of these previous markings so that just they don't get confusing. Keep the charts simple, keep the charts clean. Get rid of that, get rid of that. We had that. There's no need for that. Okay, there we are. And this is the next swing idea for the euro pound. I think that's fairly clear, right? If not, pause the video in the moment that you need to and mark it out with your charts if you've got something different or you need a bit of clarity. Once again, I mean, it's clear to see ripping higher. I mean, all the markets, pretty much all the setups looking very juicy this week, if I say so myself. Euro New Zealand continuing on the idea just as expected. Retracing didn't quite hit our level idea, but created that swing high and then moved to the next target. 1, 2, look at take that off, 3, and reached all the targets so far. So all good on Euro New Zealand. Not much to say there, because, well, we've reached our market point and we are really overstretched now. I mean, there's nothing to say that the market won't go higher. We won't have more extreme bullish price action, but now that we're good to go, we've reached what we wanted to hit our target point. So no need to be greedy. No fear and greed, the two big motivators in the market, and we don't want to succumb to that. Staying disciplined, of course. Okay, so nothing more to look at here. Let's have a look and reassess next week, and then we go from there. At the moment, we've had those swings. Here was the one at the beginning of the week. Here's the middle of the week, and hopefully, basically, you had 2 goes there to make use of that and capitalize on that move. So we can now get rid of these. As you can see, we had the swing, broke higher, another confirmation, and we really ripped higher. I mean, massively. 200 pips. What a move. Lots of interesting moves this week, but as planned, as analyzed, as drawn out. You can never know exactly how the market will do it, but we do have an idea of what we're looking at. So we stick to the overall idea, and that should give us the direction. What do we see for pound Swiss? Well, pound Swiss, here is our initial target, which we have now reached. There was nothing to look at because we wanted a better price. We wanted this area above the halfway mark, 62 mark, to really retrace and then have this idea. Now that we do not have that, the market collapsed further down and reached our initial target, which, where did we get that from? Oops, let's just right, let's look on the weekly. Got that target from this low down here. We have now reached into it. We expected a retracement and a move down. It's exactly what we have had on the pound Swiss here, and as you can see, we consolidated, created kind of a triangle pattern, if that's what you want to call it, and we didn't get that higher price up here to head down. Instead, we just collapsed lower. And what does that mean? Well, it means that we just did not have a valid entry. There was no entry, we didn't get the price we wanted, and we stick into our plan, stick into our analysis, and therefore not getting swayed by the market's movements or it tempting us into anything. There was nothing really here to enter. Let's have a quick look here. Yeah, we are preferring the higher time frame, and at the moment we just collapsed lower and lower, and therefore, well, that's it. You know, you gotta shrug your struggles. You can't catch them all. We did have plenty of good setups this week, and as you can see, when they work out the way they work out, and when they don't, they don't. That's fine. We just let them go. There'll be plenty more opportunities. We've got plenty of charts to look at. Okay, and that is the dollar here. I'm still looking at, back to the dollar, still looking at this low as the invalidation point. Let's see if we have another possibility. The reason we look at dollar, by the way, if in case you're wondering, in case you haven't been with me in the previous videos, is because the dollar sets the stage for other currencies. And right now, because we're in this range, we have no clarity on where we're going. And what we'd like to see is, if you look at the dollar first and then match it in reverse to the other pairs with the dollar, and then you should have a clearer direction. Now, what we see here is that we have had a higher being formed. This looks like the retracement to head higher. However, because we are stuck within this overall range, I can't really say that there is a high probability to go higher until we clear back above this high. Now, the news will give us some clarity. Let's just get rid of this. Some clarity. So the first scenario, first possibility is we come back down, create this a low again, and then head higher. And that's one. And two is a break higher, pulling back, and then moving higher still. So the reference point is this high. That is if we have a break, and if we have a reaction, and if we do that, then we will look to go higher. And from then on, as you could probably guess what I'm about to say, we will have level here, which will create for us the break, pulling back to a better price, and then continuing on its way to higher prices. So let's see where this range is, where the market delivers its price point on this range, where we will go below this low and break through it and clear below this invalidation, or we break higher. So we've got our 2 points of reference. Now we just allow the market to do its thing and wait for it to do that. And what you can do, looking at the euro dollar again, is match that up. And again, we have the 2 reference points, and I have a breaking point here, validation here. Let's see how it plays out. It may be the case sometimes the daily candle might close uncertain. It could be a ranging day, it could be a doji. Typically, is the day when we have a little bit of a accumulation, a range in the market. But so far we don't know because the day hasn't closed, and we're going to see what will happen once we actually have some kind of reversal here again, or a break. And as you can see, this is the reverse of the dollar. So once again, do the same for the other dollar pairs if there's one you have which we're not covered this week. All right, so hopefully that should give you some clarity for this week, what has been, what is about to come. And as always, the major news are ones to watch out for, and pair your charts and setups with that. Okay, that's that for this week and this video. I will see you again on Sunday's video, weekly analysis. Once again, I'm sure we'll have plenty more setups. And for today, watch out if you are looking at the news, just observe carefully before you consider doing anything with it. And if you're not trading today, good luck for tomorrow if you're trading tomorrow. And I shall see you again on the next video. All right, bye for now, guys.